Hey there friends, welcome back. So the saga of separating the orchid continues. Let me show you what I've done so far. Well, I turned the orchid upside down. This is the bottom right here. I got rid of a couple of layers of dead roots and old potting media that had turned to soil. And there's still a lot of soil packed in there, but now I'm separating the orchid and going to clean each piece as I go. So the first thing I did was I took this pruning saw and I actually cut through this section of the orchid and a big piece came off. Well, that piece is over here, and that piece is actually now 3 pieces. This one on the left I've already cleaned up. What I did was I removed some of the old bulbs. Now this one I'm keeping for a little while because it still has some life force in there, and those nutrients will go back into the mother plant. Just like this old bulb here. This has a long way to go before it dies off, and in the meantime all this life force is fed back into the plant. So what I did was I wet all the roots, cleaned up all the sandy soil that was in there. And what happens when the roots become wet, they turn colors. And green basically means it's alive and doing well, and the brown is dead. So green is good and brown is bad. And so you cut off the bad roots and you leave the good roots, and this is ready to plant. I also cleaned off all these sheaths that were on these bulbs. See, like this, there's this papery sheath that grows attached to the bulbs. And you want to wet that and take that off the plant, because little bugs love to live underneath that sheath. And then they feed on your plant and they have a wonderful home in which to live. Well, this is one section of that kind of came off. And I'm looking at it wondering whether it's even viable to keep and try and grow into a new plant. Because when I analyze the leaves, every one of them has already bloomed. So there's not going to be any flower on this plant this year, and maybe for 3 years. So is it worth nurturing it in the meantime? Well, I'm going to do it. You see this leading bulb right here, right at the base of it. I don't know if you can see it. There's a tiny, right there at the point of my fingertip, there's a tiny little protrusion. It's called a node. And what that is it's a life force within the plant that goes into action and grows a new bulb and new leaves when the plant feels it needs it, when it's under stress. And right now it is under stress because there's nothing new happening. So that node will become the new thing that happens on this plant. So it does have life force left, so I will pot that. And this one I still need to clean. And this one over here, oh my goodness, is still going to be separated into a lot of sections. You see this right here? That is the side. When I cut through, that is how thick that orchid has gotten. There's a lot of cleanup that needs done. But when I'm done, I'll have many beautiful plants. So thanks, friends, for stopping by. Have a lovely day.